Good morning. On day 21, after another unplanned zero at the toaster house, I am back out on trail slash road walk on my way out of Pie Town. So I certainly hadn't planned on staying there because I was feeling pretty good. And all day yesterday I was like, yeah, I'm leaving, I'm getting out of here. But I'm so glad I didn't, to be honest with you. I don't, there's a certain, compulsion that hikers seem to have, that we feel like we definitely need to be out on trail making miles, and it's almost like a guilt if we don't. It's not everyone, but I've, started polling and other people have talked about this. And I mean, you do have to cover miles to complete a trail like this. You do. You have to hike. But staying there last night was so worth it. It would have been such a shame had I missed out on the opportunity to stay at the toaster house and talk to the other hikers there, and also get to spend some time with Nita, the trail angel who owns the house. That only happens once on the CDT, right? There's one toaster house. Every day, most of them, I'm gonna be hiking. I'm gonna be camping in my tent. But staying there was such a special experience, at least for me, but I know it's not just me. But like I said, I got to spend some time with Nita. She took a few of us on a little tour of Pie Town, which didn't take long because Pie Town's real little. But there's some interesting history to the town, which I got to learn about. Got to go see this cool radio telescope that's down the road, shooting radio waves into space or receiving them. And it was just really neat. And like I said, what a shame had I missed out on that experience, because I felt like I needed to get a little further on trail. And there are so many takeaways from an experience like this, from through hiking a trail, from the profound to the incredibly menial, and on a variety of topics. But one of the most powerful and impactful, at least for me, and I know from other hikers that I've talked to, is the kindness of strangers. It'll change the way you see the world. It really will. And it'll make you want to make sure that you're making the world that kind of a place too. So totally worth it. Stay in Pie Town. And, it's not just strangers that are kind, because I need to give some thanks to my sweet friend Jody, who sent me a surprise package in Pie Town. So shout out to Jody for being awesome. And then along with some of the other goodies and treats in the package, there's this sweet pen that you can see on my shoulder here. It says, "You got this." And I love that. I love having that to just remind me on the days that maybe if I don't so much feel like I got it, at least someone thinks that I got it. Hiker tracks. You'd think I'd learn to just night hike this stuff. I'm such a daytime person. So I guess I'll just sweat. This really does have its own type of open, barren beauty. Where there is water, there are hikers. And also lots of cow poop.
Well, if you brush your teeth, don't do it. Oh yeah. Okay.
So I actually found today to be a pretty pleasant day. It was just 22 miles of road walking, so I guess not too terribly much exciting there. But the lack of water sources means that there's a bunch of people camped around this solar well tonight, which is kind of fun. It was kind of the obvious choice for where to go from when we all left the toaster house. There's also a family on a ranch about 6 or 7 miles back that has just opened up a little piece of their property for hikers, like a place to get water and be in the shade and rest a bit. And I don't know, it's just really sweet. It's just a very pleasant day, even though I think some would sort of complain about the road walk, but I don't know. We've still got it pretty good. I wish I knew what kind of birds these were, but they've all been flocking around together and they have this cool little sound they make.
Good morning, day 22. It's been 3 whole weeks. This actually seems to be going pretty quick. Well, back this way we at least had some, small trees and some sizable junipers and stuff. And now we're just moving into this. And then I guess we cross this and then we get to those mountains. The Onion Wilderness. Hope I find some onions. So this section from Pie Town to Grants, like much of New Mexico, has road walks, long water carries, and alternates. And I am currently on the Seboya alternate, which takes me through, part of the Seboya Wilderness. And at least for the next little bit, I think, through this canyon. I have so much sand in my shoes. I think this at one point may have been a pond. So that old house back there was probably an old homestead. I learned the other night that outside of Alaska, Pie Town was the last area to be homesteaded. And then I started working my way up one of the cliff sides here, and one of the other hikers commented that they found some petroglyphs on some of the rocks. I kind of looked in the area where I thought they'd be. I haven't found them. I don't know that I'll find them, but wouldn't surprise me at all if they are there. I've had a couple hikers this year that have found and shown me arrowheads that they found along the trail just this far. So certainly this has been an area that was traveled and inhabited by ancient peoples. So pretty cool. Definitely don't mind the clouds. Back to the pavement. Good morning on day 23. This section that I'm walking by right now is called the Narrows. So one of the prettier parts of the road walk. On the map I saw a trail that looked like it would have taken me basically along the rim of these cliffs, which would have been cool, and I think I would have gone that way, except that it didn't look like there was a way down afterwards. Like you just kind of get hung up at the top up there, and I'm sure you get a really nice view of the area, but then you're kind of stuck. Lava rock, I believe. I'm hoping you can see that there's an awful lot of this lava flow
off to the west here. So this is actually pretty spectacular. Found a little piece of what I'm pretty sure is obsidian on the side of the road here.
So yesterday I got on that Seboya alternate, which took me through the Seboya wilderness, which I enjoyed. Had I stayed on the official CDT, it would have taken me on a 40 to 45 mile loop to the west out over those lava fields. And lava field walking is tough walking, at least from based on my experience on the PCT in Oregon. And I don't know, it was really hard to choose that. It would have meant 2 extra days of food and very heavy pack due to like large water carries, and pretty much no one that I talked to at the toaster house was planning on doing that. So, oh well, maybe if I'm really craving some lava walking another time I'll come back here and do that. But even after you do all that big old loop, the CDT still brings you right back to this highway. So I'm actually back on the official CDT as I'm doing this long road walk into Grants. But at least I've got some cool rocks to look at. Big shout out and thank you to Cheshire Cat for the magic. He's been traveling up and down kind of the CDT corridor, following the bubble. And he, just like a Cheshire Cat, he always pops up in places you don't quite expect. So there goes Steven in his truck. Right here beside me is Jess. Hi. I work with these guys in Colorado in the wintertime, and they just freaking showed up on the highway. It was so cool.
I had to come hike with my best friend.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to see this monster, which apparently sets up in like 30 seconds. Wow. That is pretty cool. Sleep in it. Tent luxury tonight.
Good morning on day 24. So something very special and unexpected happened last night. My plan had been to get quite close to Grants, just kind of on the edge of town, at least hit the interstate, I-40, which runs pretty close to here, and then just basically kind of stealth camp on the outside of town, and then have a short walk into town this morning. But as I was about 3 miles away from where I had kind of planned to get to, this truck drives down the highway, and the driver, rolls down his window and just kind of yells out like, "Woohoo!" Which, again, because people already stop and talk to hikers, at first I thought nothing of that, and I just kind of started to yell back. And then I was like, oh wait, I know this person. And in the truck were my friends Steven and Jess, who I've been working with in Colorado over the winter time, and I had no idea they were gonna show up on the highway yesterday evening. They just started a summer road trip for themselves, and unbeknownst to me, I was destination number 1 on their trip. So that was so cool. And then because I did want to finish those 3 miles, Jess got out and walked with me those last 3 miles I wanted to walk. And then we all camped together last night in their enormous car camping tent. And it was just such a sweet and wonderful experience and just thing to happen. So I really can't express enough just how happy and grateful I am to have such very sweet friends. So the plan now for today, I had Justin Steven drop me back off at the place where I finished last night, and I am doing the rest of this road walk into Grants. And then I'll probably meet up a little bit with them in town before they leave and, you know, head on their way to go see all the cool things they're gonna go see. And hold on. And then I will stay in Grants tonight and enjoy all the comforts of town. Well, hello town. You know, for a section that could have seemed kind of unremarkable, I actually found it to be pretty magical.